What up, Sycho Nation, and welcome back to the Asylum. It is Thursday. Sorry, lost my days of the week there. So today I'm going to be taking another look at Tom Macdonald. Now, a lot of you actually requested that I continue doing some, so that's what I will be doing, and I will be going back until he has a new song released. Now, the reason I've chosen this one, even though I have listened to it literally hundreds of times, is due to the fact of the message that it has. Now, the song has helped actually my daughter when she first went back to school deal with some rough bullying, stuff like that. It really opened her eyes to what name calling really is, what people are saying something to you, calling you any type of name, that it's all just made up words and they really mean nothing until we give them a meaning. This song has a lot of, I would say, value in the sense that it can speak to a generation that has been more bullied and more pushed than anybody else. Really, in the timeline of humans lately, it's been a lot worse, with a lot more things coming out and a lot more people being shunned or made fun of for it. And this song speaks volumes for this. So really, I want you guys to sit and listen. Like, obviously, I'll still do my breaks to talk about the song. But besides that, like, sit and listen. Let it really sink into what Tom's saying in this song, because it is absolutely amazing. Anyway, this is Tom Macdonald, Names.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. You're a sexist or a racist, white supremacist or gay. They'll attack your reputation, claim that you're the one to blame, and try to make you hate yourself for ways that you behave. They're just names, embrace them and they'll never cause you pain. They're just words that another person thought up in their brain. They're just names, they do not define you, that's insane. And they'll just call you something different if you change. Call me racist, I don't make no BLM donations. I can stand with black folks without a branded corporation. All this systemic prejudice, if you live in this nation, you privileged, black or Caucasian. Call me transphobic, but I support you in your policies. I just can't ignore the very basics of biology. All I see is men and women trying to live in harmony, not 100 genders that you wanna be. Call me snowflake, cause I'm offended, I ain't stone-faced. Social justice warriors destroying us with woke ways. Mad because they voted for the POTUS with the most hate. Man, I miss the old days. Call me loser, call me bigot, call me stupid, call me bitter, nice. Call me ugly, call me cracker, call me doucher, call me triggered. You can call me what you want, cause at the end of the day, man, they're just names.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain.
Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame.
Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
So, let's really break it down, right? This man has been called some of the most disgusting names on the face of this planet. He's been called racist, transphobic, just all over the board, like bigot everything. All for speaking his mind on what his views of the world are. Now, in my opinion, when you speak the truth about your opinion, your thoughts on anything massive, be it a government standing, a geopolitical stance, or whatever it may be, even just standing with your beliefs on religion or whatever, it's become more and more common these days to be targeted for that. Now, that's not to say like the Christian Crusades didn't happen or anything like that, but I'm saying in our timeline, so the last few generations, we have seen such an upturn in these terms that, like, there is literally kids offing themselves because of the bullying, because of the name calling, because of this and that, right? But it's all just literally made up word. This song really opened my eyes to what literal language is. It's all just a bunch of made up words that somebody decided that these make sense, let's put them in a book and we'll call them a language. That's pretty much language right there. Every language. It's just communication. So if this guy that has been called the worst names in the world can push them off and continue on his journey that like he has, why is it stop? Why did we let, as average people, why do we let them stop us from achieving what we want and what we desire out of life, or from stopping us from voicing our opinions because we're scared of what somebody else is going to say? Lots of meaning to this song. I love it. Really do.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. Repeat it till you really start believing what they say. They gon' stamp it on your forehead and scream it till you break. They love to say they woke, they not awake. They're just names, afraid of anyone who ain't the same. So they classify your thoughts as controversial, not okay. Then they cancel you till everything you have all gets erased. They tryna tell the world you bad, they're just names. Call me conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. I'm somewhere in the middle, but y'all don't know what to do with that. The system got you so obsessed with classifying right or left. You never call a person human, call them names instead. Call me sexist. There. Men run the world cause they're aggressive, but behind every man there's a woman just as successful.
And that is so true. For every powerful man in the world, there is a woman just as powerful standing right behind them. If not in front of them in some cases. There is some seriously powerful people out there. And not all of them are men at all. Like, even remotely. Some of the most powerful people in this world are women. And it's just crazy how you can break down everything that he says and it all makes sense. And if you like some of the stuff he said, well, almost everything he says, you can actually statistically look up. And I highly suggest some of you do it if you're not big on Tom because you believe his thought pattern is wrong or whatever your purpose for it. If you think it's wrong, then listen to his song and look up what he says. Because I'll guarantee you, this man has facts in his songs. He doesn't just speak for the fact of being spoken or being heard. He's not like the rappers that we hear getting big labels nowadays where they say what they're told to say, and most of the time they sing about drugs or women or just pointless dribble that doesn't have any real impact on society. Whereas Tom's, you can literally take everything he says, look it up, and you can find factual content in everything he says.
We will never be equal in every way, that ain't helpful. Our differences are why we're great together. Call me white devil, I know you think the system favors me. My privilege is residual benefits from the slavery. Subconscious prejudice embedded in the system made for me. Don't mean I never struggled to survive, I guess we ain't agree. Ignorant and jaded, call me dumb, uneducated. Call me idiot or redneck or delusional or crazy. Call me anything society has taught you to say. Cause at the end of the day, they're just names.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain.
Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame.
Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored. Your sticks and your stones might break my bones, but your words don't hurt.
So give me your worst.
Stupid loser, ugly poser, moron, liar, crazy loner.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain.
Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing.
Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord.
Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame.
Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
Alright, so like I said, this is possibly one of my favorite songs from him just for the fact of the huge message that it has. really anybody that's gone through bullying or name calling or whatever you've had in your life can relate to this song, which is like 90% of the world. Let's face it, everybody's gone through some type of bullying at one time or another. But this song can speak worlds for your kids who are in school and they come back and they're upset because they're getting picked on. Like, they don't teach kids anymore that sticks and stones will break our bones, but names will never hurt us, right? Like, that whole saying has pretty much been washed away because we have learned that words hurt, yes. But like I said earlier, they're all just made of constructs, and really, unless you take those words as a negative attribute to yourself, or you take them personally, like, oh, because this person says I am, I must be, they should have no effect on you. I had to tell my daughter, because really weird, but she's like 13, and a person came up to her in school and called her a bigot. They had no idea what a bigot was, and she most definitely is not one. But I had to explain to her why she wasn't, and that actually started me into showing her this song. Now, she's been listening to Tom Macdonald as long as I have. She absolutely loves his work. A lot of his songs really speak to her on a personal level that I couldn't ever get into, but on my own level, it speaks volumes for me. She is more interested in hearing how the world can change and how if we change, we can make the world a better place, much rather than seeing all the problems that the world poses. And for that, she gets ripped on quite a lot. She would rather see a solution to a problem than see the problem itself, which 100%. Now, I know a lot of kids out there, a lot of even adults out there, they go home depressed because either they're ripped on in their friends group, or they're ripped on at school, or they're ripped on at work, whatever your situation may be. And it could just be that one word one day that puts you over the edge. And that's why this song is so important, is because there should be no reason for those words to be able to push you to that extent. I never fully understood how. I mean, I was bullied to absolute crap as a kid. I mean, really bad. I wish this song was out then, because I lived on that phrase, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt. I lived on that. I had to. Otherwise, it would have driven me insane, and I probably would have made a stupid decision. That being said, this song, if it had come out when I was a kid, I would have been listening to it 24/7 just for the message. That yes, I can get through this because those are just made up words. To each their own, right? And you all may have a different version than what I'm hearing, but to me this speaks volumes for anybody struggling with bullying, or anybody struggling in their day-to-day lives due to, well, names or words. It's all just a construct. And I think Tom does a great job in bringing this to light. Because let's face it, the man has been, like I said, been called every terrible name in the book, accused of just terrible stuff. And yet he keeps coming back week by week, producing more and more songs that still strive to hit that same audience and wake up that same audience. Because, let's face it, a lot of the world is asleep to this type of stuff. Like, my kids come home and they're like, well, I had a bad day. I will sit down and I will listen, but there's not a lot I can do when somebody's calling them a name other than give them this same advice. They're just names. So, I think that this is an important song for an entire generation to hear, even if you don't like some of Tom Macdonald's other stuff. Even if you don't appreciate his political views or anything like that, you can at least appreciate this. Because this should speak to you on a different level. This isn't political. This isn't trying to take a jab at literally anyone. This is literally explaining why words shouldn't hurt anymore. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your breakdowns. What are your thoughts on this song? Because like I've said, I believe it speaks volumes, and that an entire generation is in need of these words. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. If you want to see another song by Tom, make sure to let me know any specific songs or even his spoken word poetry. Always down to listen to that because, once again, he has strong messages in those too. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Have yourselves a great night. Stay psycho.